a foundation designed to stay on for 16 hours, achieves that claim through the same chemical class used to coat non-stick cookware. Per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS, create the film-forming, water-resistant surface that cosmetics marketing calls long-wear technology. A 2021 peer-reviewed study published in Environmental Science and Technology Letters by researchers at the University of Notre Dame tested 231 makeup products and found high PFAS indicators in 56% of foundations, 47% of mascaras, and 48% of lip products. Of the 29 products tested further for specific PFAS compounds, only one disclosed a fluorochemical on its ingredient label. These compounds do not metabolize. They bioaccumulate in blood serum, liver tissue, and breast milk. Studies have linked PFAS exposure to kidney cancer, testicular cancer, thyroid disease, and hypertension. Today, ranking 9 makeup brands, 5 whose long-wear formulas carry documented PFAS evidence, and 4 where independent testing has confirmed clean results. Starting at number 5. Number 5, Revlon ColorStay. Revlon positions ColorStay as its 24-hour wear flagship across foundation, concealer, and mascara. The ColorStay 24H foundation retails for $12 to $16. Revlon Consumer Products Corporation filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in June 2022. The same year, consumer advocacy organizations published laboratory results identifying PFAS fluoropolymer markers in ColorStay long-wear formulas. The mechanism is specific: PTFE, polytetrafluoroethylene, a compound within the PFAS class, is used in cosmetic formulations as a slip agent and film former. It creates the smooth, wear-resistant surface that prevents makeup from breaking down across an extended wear period. PTFE appears on INCI ingredient lists as polytetrafluoroethylene, not as PFAS. Without recognizing that INCI name, there is no mechanism for a consumer to identify that the ingredient in their foundation belongs to the same chemical class being legislated out of cosmetics across 11 U.S. states. Revlon's bankruptcy and subsequent acquisition transferred the brand's assets but included no public reformulation commitment for PFAS-containing products. The 24-hour wear claim remains, the chemical mechanism delivering it remains. The verdict: you are not buying superior formulation science from a heritage makeup brand. You are buying fluoropolymer film-forming chemistry whose half-life in your bloodstream exceeds the wear time on the label. Number 4, NARS. Shiseido Company Limited acquired NARS in 1999. NARS markets its Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation at $49 and its Radiant Creamy Concealer at $33, positioning both as prestige-tier products on the basis of formulation sophistication and clinical-grade performance. Shiseido's FY 2024 results confirm NARS as a materially underperforming asset, alongside Drunk Elephant, prompting 300 U.S. workforce reductions. Consumer advocacy organizations and independent cosmetic chemistry analysis platforms, including the Environmental Working Group's Skin Deep database, have identified high organic fluorine concentrations in NARS foundation and concealer formulas. High organic fluorine, in the absence of a disclosed fluorine-based ingredient serving another function, is the detection methodology the 2021 Notre Dame study used to flag intentional PFAS use across 231 products. NARS constructs its premium positioning on non-stop wear and all-day wear performance language. These claims correlate directly with fluoropolymer film-forming architecture, the same chemical infrastructure present in the $12 product at the other end of the cosmetics aisle. Shiseido sells reformulated versions of its brands in EU markets where ingredient restrictions apply. U.S. versions are not subject to equivalent reformulation obligations. The verdict: you are not buying the formulation investment of a Shiseido R&D infrastructure. You are buying the same fluoropolymer chemistry as a budget drugstore product at a price point that funds a failing luxury portfolio. Number 3, CoverGirl. Coty Inc. acquired CoverGirl from Procter & Gamble in 2016 for $12.5 billion and positions it as accessible professional makeup. The True Blend foundation retails for $10 to $14, and the Clump Crusher waterproof mascara at $10. Coty reported net revenues of approximately $5.6 billion in fiscal 2024, allocating marketing spend across a portfolio of 77 brands. Third-party laboratory testing has documented PFAS fluoropolymer markers in CoverGirl True Blend and waterproof mascara products, the categories the Notre Dame study specifically identified as highest PFAS by product type. California AB 2771, signed into law on September 29, 2022, and effective January 1, 2025, prohibits the manufacture and sale of any cosmetic product containing intentionally added PFAS in California. Products sold in California must comply with that standard. Products sold in the remaining 49 states face no equivalent federal requirement. Whether the same brand at the same retail price carries the same formula or a reformulated version depends on the state where the shelf is located. Coty has not publicly confirmed a uniform national reformulation timeline. The consumer in Texas buying CoverGirl True Blend after January 2025 is not guaranteed the same product as the consumer in California buying it from the same branded display. The verdict, you are not buying the formula California has already required changing. You are buying the formula distributed to every state that hasn't required changing it yet. Number 2, Maybelline. L'Oreal's flagship mass-market brand generated approximately $2 billion in U.S. retail sales in its most recent reporting period. Maybelline's Volume Express Total Temptation waterproof mascara retails for $10, and its Fit Me foundation for $9 to $12. In February 2022, a class action complaint was filed in California federal court in Davenport versus L'Oreal USA, Inc., alleging specific Maybelline waterproof mascaras contained PFAS not disclosed on labels. That case consolidated into Hicks et al. Ver L'Oreal USA, Inc.'s Case Number 1, 2022, CV01989, filed in the Southern District of New York. The consolidated amended complaint specifically named Maybelline Volume Express, the Falsies Waterproof Mascara, Total Temptation Waterproof Mascara, Great Lash Waterproof Mascara, and L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Waterproof Mascara. Plaintiffs alleged that independent laboratory testing detected PFAS at measurable concentrations in each product tested, while no PFAS appeared on any product label. Court documents confirmed L'Oreal contested the claims on procedural grounds while the litigation remained active. L'Oreal simultaneously reformulates its EU market products to meet European ingredient standards. The same parent company maintains a two-formula system, the EU-compliant version for European consumers, the pre-reformulation formula for American ones. L'Oreal's annual advertising expenditure runs approximately $6.8 billion. Roughly 30% of net consolidated sales. The verdict? You are not buying the formulation expertise of the world's largest cosmetics company. You are buying the formula it already changed for someone else, while funding the marketing budget that makes sure you don't notice the difference. Number 1, Estée Lauder Companies. The parent of MAC, Clinique, Bobbi Brown, and Smashbox reported net sales of $14.7 billion in fiscal 2024 and allocates approximately $2.7 billion annually to advertising. MAC Face and Body Foundation retails for $37 to $46. Clinique Stay Matte oil-free makeup retails for $23. Consumer advocacy organizations, including the Campaign for Safe Cosmetics, testing products in connection with the California AB 2771 legislative record, identified PFAS markers across multiple Estée Lauder brand longwear and waterproof product lines. PTFE, polytetrafluoroethylene, appears on Estée Lauder brand INSEE lists under its INSEE-approved nomenclature without triggering consumer recognition that the compound belongs to the PFAS chemical class. The Fair Packaging and Labeling Act of 1967, unchanged in this regard for nearly 60 years, does not require PFAS to appear on a cosmetic label under any consumer-recognizable collective name. PTFE is legally compliant nomenclature for a PFAS compound on a U.S. cosmetic label. The company, capable of spending $2.7 billion annually communicating what its products can do for your skin, has not applied equivalent resources to communicating what specific compounds you are absorbing daily, and what their documented biological persistence means for your bloodstream over years of routine use. The verdict: you are not buying the formulation science of a $14.7 billion research enterprise. You are buying PFAS under an NCI name engineered through regulatory inaction to remain invisible on the label you are legally permitted to trust. 5 brands. 5 documented pathways for fluoropolymer compounds onto your skin through products you apply to your face every morning. The 4 brands below earned their position through one mechanism only. Independent third-party laboratory testing returned no detectable PFAS fluorine markers above background levels. No regulatory requirement compelled any of them to meet that standard. Number 4, ILIA Beauty. ILIA retails its True Skin Serum Foundation at $52 and its Limitless Lash Mascara at $28. The brand's published restricted ingredient standard categorically prohibits all per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, not as a response to California AB 2771, but as a foundational formulation constraint documented on the brand's ingredient standards page. Independent testing by third-party cosmetic chemistry review platforms, including ILIA, has returned no detectable PFAS markers in ILIA's core product line. Wear performance is achieved through film-forming alternatives, cross-linked polymers without fluorine content, and mineral-based UV filters that carry no bioaccumulation profile in peer-reviewed literature. The ingredient exclusion standard predates any state-level PFAS regulation and is maintained as a documented public commitment rather than a private reformulation decision the consumer cannot verify. Markup runs approximately 3 to 4 times production cost. The verdict: the wear performance is delivered through documented fluorine-free chemistry. The restricted ingredient list is accessible before purchase, not disclosed after litigation. Number 3, Kosas. Kosas retails its Revealer Skin Improving Foundation SPF 25 at $42 and its The Big Clean Mascara at $26. The brand's formulation standard publishes a categorical ban on PFAS and all fluoropolymer compounds regardless of current regulatory status in any jurisdiction. Kosas holds EcoCert certification under the Cosmos standard, a European certification framework that applies EU cosmetics regulation ingredient restrictions as its independent verification baseline. Products certified under Cosmos are tested for restricted fluorine-based compounds before certification is issued and before any product reaches retail. Third-party testing by consumer advocacy organizations has confirmed no PFAS detection across the core Kosas product line. Wear performance is delivered through natural wax systems and plant-based polymers without the bioaccumulation profile documented in PFAS literature. Markup runs 3 to 4 times production cost. The verdict: the EU ingredient standard is the certified formulation floor, verified by an independent European body before the product ships, not after a state ban takes effect. Number 2, RMS Beauty. RMS retails its Uncover Up Cream Foundation at $52 and its volumizing mascara at $28. Founder Rosemary Swift developed RMS's formulation standard directly in response to documented heavy metal and chemical toxicity found in her own blood work in 2009, a founding constraint that predates the PFAS in cosmetics regulatory conversation by over a decade. The brand's ingredient philosophy categorically excludes synthetic fluoropolymers by class. The Campaign for Safe Cosmetics has independently verified RMS Beauty formulas as PFAS-free across multiple testing rounds. RMS does not make 24-hour or long wear duration claims on its core foundation and mascara products. Wear performance is defined within the range achievable without fluoropolymer architecture, and the brand does not build marketing around longevity claims that require fluoropolymer chemistry to fulfill. The verdict: you are paying for a formulation constraint built before the regulatory requirement existed, verified by independent testing. Number 1, W3LL PEOPLE. W3LL PEOPLE retails its Expressionist Bio Extreme Mascara at $20 and its BioTint Multi-Action Face Tint SPF 30 at $34. The brand holds EWG verified certification, a designation issued by the Environmental Working Group that requires full ingredient disclosure, verification that no ingredients appear on EWG's restricted or hazardous compounds list, and confirmed absence of PFAS compounds across the entire product formulation. EWG Verified is not a self-awarded designation. It requires documentary submission of full ingredient lists and independent review. The Restricted Compounds Database EWG applies to verification explicitly includes all per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances. W3LL People's distribution runs through Whole Foods, Target, and direct-to-consumer channels, making the standard accessible at fair price points. The verdict: the EWG Verified certification requires annual re-verification against a database that explicitly prohibits all PFAS. 5 brands. 5 documented PFAS exposure pathways through products applied to your face, near your eyes, and across your lips every morning. California AB 2771, effective January 1, 2025, prohibits intentionally added PFAS in cosmetics. 49 states have no equivalent law. The Notre Dame study found that only 1 of 29 products tested disclosed a fluorochemical on its label. The other 28 did not. Every product in that study was legally compliant with U.S. labeling requirements. Legal compliance and chemical absence are not the same standard. The NC name for PTFE is polytetrafluoroethylene. If that appears on a label marketed as longwear, the compound belongs to the PFAS class. The marketing term for it is performance. The scientific term for what it does in your bloodstream is bioaccumulation. Those are not the same thing either.